Today we are going to talk about weaponized incompetence. अगर आपको लगता है you've put in a lot of work in life but you're not getting as much results, and you see these other people who don't do so much, who don't make a lot of effort, who do not even work that hard, and yet they are enjoying life and they are getting ahead and they are getting paid well. So today is going to be about manipulation and exploitation, and how that happens with you or around you, and how you can make sure that you're aware of it, and at the same time you are making yourself strong enough to not fall into this manipulation tactic. Okay, so today is going to be about weaponized incompetence. Now, weaponized incompetence is a tactic. It's a very passive manipulation tactic, and it's very simple. When someone pretends to be bad at something, when they pretend that they don't know how to do something well, and they put in minimal effort to do it and do it badly, then when someone else has to step in and then do it for them, that is called as weaponized incompetence. It's like you can't do something, you're incompetent, but you're using it to your advantage and you're making other people do it for you. So you're making other people, you are slacking off and you're making other people do it for you, and you're making other people take the burden, and while you reap the benefits. Okay, and it happens everywhere. It happens every single place. It happens in our corporate spaces when we have these team members or bosses who, pretend to be bad at something, and then you end up doing it because you are the one who is, very supportive, you're very kind, and at the same time, you are so much more competent than them. Why wouldn't you? So that is what weaponized competence is, and it happens everywhere. It happens in, our पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप्स एज वेल. फैमिलीज में भी होता है. बहुत सारी बहुएं ऐसा करती हैं कि कुछ, ओ मम्मी जी मुझे तो ये चीज़ करनी नहीं आती, आप बहुत अच्छा करती हो तो आप ही कर लो. सो this happens in houses, this happens in relationships when your partner does not want to put in the effort. Okay, they do not plan anything, they do not put in any effort, and then they say, oh, you do it well, that's why, I would love for you to do it. It's just that they are putting the burden on you. So it happens in relationships, it happens in friendships where, you are the friend who's always making effort, but other people just take the benefit of it. So it is basically a very passive manipulation tactic, and a very evil one. Why evil? Because someone would do it their entire life, and the other people who are they doing it with will never realize. Okay, I'm doing this live today outside because it's the weather is really nice, cold winds are blowing, and I was like, yeah, doesn't happen in June or July, so let's just go and take advantage of it. If it starts raining, I might have to stop this live, but yeah, let's see. I feel really good, and I think it's a really good topic to just talk about, while just sitting in nature. So I'm just sitting, under our tree, and let's just see. I just wish it doesn't rain. So coming back to weaponized incompetence, okay? तो ये हर जगह पे होता है, वर्क में, फ्रेंडशिप में, घर पे, और हर जगह. यहाँ पे इससे होता क्या है? देखो, there are two kinds of people who are, everybody can become good if they want to put in the effort. It's just that they don't want to. So there are people who like to put in the effort, there are people who do not like putting in the effort. Okay, and how do these people still survive in the world? They shift their responsibility. दुनिया ऐसे ही चल रही है. बुरे लोग सर्वाइव कर पा रहे हैं because there are enough number of अच्छे people taking the burnt of it. Okay, and then it happens in workplace as well. There are these highly incompetent people which do not deserve to be in that position, but they not only are there, but they survive there as well, and that happens because of this weaponized incompetence which we don't know. इसकी वजह से होता क्या है, and why I am talking about it. Hi, if you are new here, or just to reintroduce myself, I am Deepa Baldoshia. I'm a productivity, personal growth and career mentor. Basically, I help you do well in your life and career. लेकिन अगर आपके आसपास ऐसे लोग हैं which are practicing weaponizing their incompetence and they're practicing weaponized incompetence with you, उसकी वजह से हो क्या रहा है, you are taking the burnt, you are doing a lot, you do not have enough time, you feel burnt out, you have workload. ठीक है, आप जितनी मेहनत लाइफ में कर रहे हो उसका बेनिफिट आप रीप नहीं कर पा रहे हो, उसकी वजह से आप बर्नट आउट भी हो रहे हो एंड आप फ्रस्ट्रेटेड भी फील कर रहे हो और लाइफ भी खराब हो रही है और आप सफ़र भी कर रहे हो, एंड आई डोंट वांट यू टू सफ़र. सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड ये वीपनाइज्ड कॉम्पिटेंस सिर्फ एक छोटी सी चीज़ नहीं है, एक बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है. इट्स एन एंटायर गेम, an entire system that has been built by some people against you. So you have to make sure that first you're aware of it, then you understand to what degrees and to what levels it impacts you, and third, you know how to actually go ahead and face it and how to actually solve it. So we'll be talking about all of that in the video today. And I am a mentor, right? If you are doing it, if you are indulging it, I will also tell you how it ends up impacting you. तो वो भी हम करेंगे. आई एम समवन हु हैज़ टू होल्ड यू अकाउंटेबल एज वेल अगर आप कुछ गलत कर रहे हो, बिकॉज वो गलत करना उसका इम्पैक्ट लाइक इन वट वे इट इज़ गोइंग टू एंड, आई हैव टू टेल यू दैट. सो हम थोड़ा सा उस बारे में बात भी करने वाले हैं अभी. सो लेट्स जस्ट मूव फॉरवर्ड. ओके, तो हाउ डज वेपनाइज्ड इनकॉम्पिटेंस रियली इम्पैक्ट यू? आप तो बोलोगे दीपक ठीक है ना, इट्स ओके, समटाइम्स वी कैन जस्ट गो अहेड एंड यू नो इवन इफ other people are practicing weaponized incompetence with us, क्या हो गया, थोड़ा बहुत काम ही तो करना पड़ रहा है. I'm gonna tell you क्या हो रहा है उसकी वजह से. ठीक है, hi Megha, really happy to have you here. So weaponized incompetence, जब लोग ये बोलते हैं कि यू नो दे आर नॉट गुड इनफ एंड आप अच्छे से करते हो तो प्लीज़ आप ही कर दो, इट्स जस्ट अ पैसिव मैनिपुलेशन. और उसकी वजह से होता क्या है, इट एंड्स अप ओवरलोडिंग यू एंड बर्निंग यू आउट. वाई? बिकॉज आप अपना काम तो कर ही रहे हो या अपने हिस्से की चीज़ें तो कर ही रहे हो, यू आर ऑल्सो वर्किंग फॉर द अदर पर्सन, यू आर डूइंग टू पीपल्स जॉब हियर as in relationships or in corporate as well. So weaponized competence burns you out. Weaponized incompetence, when it is practiced by other people on you, it burns you out and it overloads you. कहाँ से टाइम बचेगा अपनी खुद की लाइफ के लिए, कहाँ से मेंटल स्पेस, इमोशनल एनर्जी बचेगी अपनी खुद की लाइफ में बेटर करने के लिए. सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ये सिर्फ किसी के लिए ज़रा सा कुछ करना या किसी के लिए यू नो ज़रा सा सपोर्ट देना नहीं है. इट्स someone else entirely taking advantage of you and actually making you overload yourself, and actually you end up burning yourself out. You carry the share of not just your own things but the mental, emotional and actual labor of other people's lives as well. ठीक है. Second thing that happens is आप कर तो लोगे but वो resentment builds inside you. Okay, you will soon start to feel unappreciated, taken for granted and manipulated. आपको समझ नहीं आएगा कि ये हो क्यों रहा है, because it's very passive if you're not aware of it. Yeah, but what happens is it's gonna end up causing that resentment in you. आपको समझ नहीं आएगा, you'll start feeling emotionally detached from people, you'll start feeling emotionally exhausted, and you will not understand the reason if you're not aware of it. Third thing is it leads to the loss of your own time and growth. अगर वो टाइम आपकी खुद की जगह पे किसी और के लिए लग रहा है, then you're losing out that time out of yourself. आपकी खुद की लाइफ में नहीं लग रहा है वो टाइम, उसकी वजह से you lose out time in your own life and you lose out on your own growth. जो टाइम, जो अटेंशन, जो एनर्जी आपकी खुद की ग्रोथ में लगनी चाहिए वो किसी और के लिए जा रही है, कोई और which is actually taking advantage of you, and someone else who is completely slacking off. Okay, other than that it erodes trust as well. इसकी वजह से क्या होता है, अगर आप एक लीडर हो and you have certain team members which practice you know weaponized incompetence, उसकी वजह से क्या होगा, एक टॉक्सिक वर्क इन्वायरमेंट भी क्रिएट होगा. अगर आपके घर में ऐसा कोई मेंबर है जो weaponized incompetence प्रैक्टिस करता है, उसकी वजह से क्या होगा, घर में भी वो ट्रस्ट इश्यूज होना शुरू हो जाएंगे. दैट रिजेंटमेंट विल बिल्ड. सो बोथ एट वर्क और in your personal life, if people are practicing weaponized incompetence and you're not going ahead and confronting them and doing something about it, then what's going to happen is other people are going to take the brunt. Trust issues will start to happen. Other people will feel unappreciated, underappreciated. Collaboration will be undermined. You guys will not be able to coordinate or collaborate on things. And that will end up making things toxic, and it will not end good for anyone. Okay? So, weaponized incompetence erodes trust in relationships, in teams, at workplaces, everywhere. And last thing that happens is guilt trip hoti hai. Okay, the person on whom the weaponized incompetence is practiced, उसको लोग करते कैसे? See, they will say, मैं इस चीज़ में बहुत बेकार हूँ, या मेरे से ये चीज़ नहीं हो रही है, आई एम नॉट एबल टू डू इट, यू आर सो गुड एट इट, कैन यू प्लीज गो अहेड एंड डू इट? एंड इफ यू से नो, एंड इफ यू आर नॉट अवेयर दैट दैट पर्सन इज एक्चुअली practicing it as a manipulation tactic on you, then they are gonna guilt trip you, saying you are so unsupportive. आप एक ऐसा इंसान जो कुछ कर नहीं पा रहा, आप उसको हेल्प भी नहीं कर सकते. यू कैन बी लेबल्ड unsupportive, you can be guilt tripped into this thing if you don't understand that it is actually used as a manipulation tactic, and it ends up actually damaging you. If you're a high performer, if you're like, yeah, I am someone who can take, you know, this thing, I am someone who can actually help people, it's fine by me to, you know, थोड़ा सा अगर बाकी लोग slack off कर रहे हैं तो मैं करने के लिए तैयार हूँ, it's okay. What happens is, if you are an underperformer that way, ठीक है, पीपल हु आर टैग्ड एज, या फिर आपके आसपास आपकी टीम में, या पीपल हु मैटर टू यू, हु आर यू नो हेल्प टैग्ड एज हेल्पर्स सोशली, कि ये तो हेल्पर है, या आपकी टीम में कोई ऐसा इंसान है whom you give this responsibility to you know, take the burden for others, then it is going to undermine that person. That person is soon going to leave your team, or that person may actually feel under appreciated, और उसकी वजह से वो जगह छोड़ने लग जाएगा, या वो his growth mindset will start eroding. Why? Because इतना ज़्यादा प्रेशर कोई नहीं ले सकता है किसी और की लाइफ का, कब तक आप लोगे? ठीक है, so that person will actually, if you are you know, you are a team member, or if you are someone who is a leader, and आपकी टीम में ऐसे लोग हैं जो हेल्पर जो हेल्पर की तरह आपने टैग कर दिया है, या फिर जिनको आप बताते हो दैट दिस इज द गो टू पर्सन, यू नो, एवरीबडी फेसेस प्रॉब्लम, गो टू दिस पर्सन एंड बर्डन दिस पर्सन, देन दैट पर्सन इज गोइंग टू बी एक्सप्लॉइटेड अंडर द illusion of being nice or exploited, अंडर द illusion of being nice or supportive. ठीक है, आपके साथ भी होगा, लोग आपको नाइस और सपोर्टिव बोलने के नाम पे, या हेल्पर बोलने के नाम पे आपको एक्सप्लॉइट करना शुरू कर देंगे. एंड एक्सप्लॉइटेशन ऑफ एनीबडी इज नॉट गुड, नॉट व्हेन इट हैपेंस विद यू, एंड नॉट व्हेन इट हैपेंस विद एनीबडी एल्स. ठीक है, नाउ तो इसलिए मेक श्योर करना है, विल बी गोइंग थ्रू इट, हाउ यू कैन मेक श्योर दैट यू आर कन्फ्रंटिंग द अदर पर्सन, एंड हाउ यू कैन सॉल्व फॉर इट. देयर इज अ वाइजर फ्रेमवर्क दैट विल बी यूजिंग टू सॉल्व इट, विच इज गोना कम अहेड. ठीक है, सो अभी तो आपको पता चला कि कैसे आपको और दूसरे लोगों को इम्पैक्ट करता है. नाउ इफ यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग weaponized incompetence, I know we are all humans, we can end up doing that out of fun also, out of, you know, कई बार हम lightly इस चीज को कर सकते हैं, but I will, you know, want to hold you accountable for that. And as a mentor, as someone you have come for advice, I would say stop doing it, and I'll tell you the reasons why. Rather than helping you, or rather than benefiting you, in the long run it's gonna actually you know, end up destroying your credibility, destroying your reputation, and destroying your opportunities as well in the future. तो अगर आप weaponized incompetence practice करते हो, ठीक है, then remember there are a couple of things that can happen with you. First is stagnation. अगर आप challenges avoid करते रहोगे, कोई चीज सीखोगे नहीं, जानबूझ के किसी चीज में effort नहीं डालोगे, just because there is someone else who is nice and can, you know, do that effort for you, then your own life will have stagnation. आप grow ही नहीं कर पाओगे, because challenges से और effort डालने से ही आपकी खुद का expertise, आपकी खुद की mastery, आपकी खुद की skills build होती है. अगर वो skill आप खुद से build नहीं करोगी, आप और करोगे, आपके लाइफ और करियर में वो स्टैग्नेशन, दैट स्टैग्नेशन इन योर लाइफ और करियर इज गोइंग टू कम, एंड यू विल स्टे स्टक एट, you know, entry level competence only. You will not be able to grow into other areas, better areas, higher areas of your life, or better paying roles in your career. ठीक है, second thing is it damages your credibility, and that is one of the worst things that can happen to us as humans. Now the world is changing to be focusing more and more on personal branding. ठीक है, पर्सनल ब्रांड आपका बहुत मैटर करता है. आज के टाइम में हर किसी के पास नॉलेज है, एवरीबडी हैज स्किल्स, एवरीबडी हैज एबिलिटीज, देयर इज नो dearth of, you know, all of those things. But what's happening is, if you practice weaponized incompetence, or sooner or later people are going to realize it, okay, what will happen is you'll end up damaging your reputation. You will have the personal brand of someone who is very incompetent. and you do not want that because opportunities are not given to the person who is perceived as incompetent. तो आप अपना personal brand हमेशा के लिए damage कर लोगे, अपनी reputation हमेशा के लिए damage कर लोगे. And remember, reputation building is the hardest task ever. It can take decades to build a reputation, but it takes a second to break it. Okay, so you don't want to do that in your life. You don't want to be perceived as someone, you know, who is not credible. Others will stop trusting you with responsibilities or leadership role, और वो नहीं आएगी तो आप अपनी लाइफ में ग्रो नहीं कर पाओगे. ठीक है. So if you have been practicing weaponized incompetence just out of fun, please stop it. It's not worth doing it. थर्ड वन इज डिपेंडेंसी माइंडसेट हो जाता है आपका खुद का. यू ऑलवेज नीड रेस्क्यू और हैंड होल्डिंग, जिसकी वजह से योर ओन सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बियर्स द लॉस. सो you will not be able to have that real confidence, that deep confidence, that strong confidence it needs to just stand your ground or just stand in front of the crowd. That comes from actually taking the responsibility of your own life. But when you practice weaponized incompetence, even in smaller ways, even in harmless ways, it ends up actually hurting your real authentic confidence, and because of that you will suffer at different areas in your life. Okay, another thing is it sabotages your relationships. कोई इंसान आपके लिए एक हद तक ही कर सकता है. ठीक है, no matter how much supportive, nice or good they are, they can only do up till a limit for you. And if they keep on doing that over and over again, people will start to realize what you're doing. Okay? They may not understand it as a manipulation, but they will understand that your energy is draining you. Keeping you in their lives is draining them. Okay? So because of that, what will happen is people will start withdrawing from your own life. They will distance themselves from you. If you have been doing that in relationships, you have a partner, and in the you do not really take responsibilities, and you just say, oh, you do it better, so please do it, please help me. If you keep on doing that, they are bearing the labor. Okay, you are slacking and they are doing double work. उनको समझ में आना शुरू हो जाएगा, and they will start to distance themselves from you, and your relationships will start to get damaged. Okay, so you do not want to damage your relationships. That's why if you have been practicing it, stop right now. Another thing is missed growth. वेपनाइज्ड इनकॉम्पिटेंस से क्या होता है दैट यू आर अवॉइडिंग पुटिंग इन द एफर्ट. ठीक है, आप अपने कंफर्ट जोन में रहते हो, बट रिमेंबर कंफर्ट इज अ ब्यूटिफुल प्लेस टू बी, बट इट्स ऑल्सो द प्लेस वेयर नथिंग एवर ग्रोज. इफ यू हैव बीन अवॉइडिंग डिस्कम्फर्ट एंड पुटिंग इन द एफर्ट by just because you have other people doing it for you, then remember that discomfort, by avoiding that discomfort, you're also avoiding the skills and experience that you can learn. And because of that, what will happen is you will not transform, you will not become something who is strong, and your own life will suffer. You will not be able to grow because if you have not learned the skills or the transformation that is needed to actually go ahead and take on that growth, or to actually go ahead and deserve that growth. And because of that, what will happen is you will miss out on growth in your life. So if you personally have been practicing weaponized incompetence, stop right there. It's not benefiting you. It is gonna cost you so many things in life, and you do not want to risk that. Okay, so if other people are going to before we go ahead and solve it, I want you to actually realize in your life, there is a very small thing that you can do to realize if other people are practicing this with you, or if you are practicing weaponized incompetence with other people. So I want you to ask yourself a question. Where in your life are you over giving? Okay? Where in your life are you over giving? Are you over functioning? Because someone else is under giving, or someone else is underperforming. Okay? So first thing, if you want to know if other people are practicing weaponized incompetence with you, ask yourself the question, where in your life are you getting burdened because someone else is not putting in the required amount of efforts? Okay, that will tell you which people in your life and in which places or in which relationships, in office or at home, where exactly are people actually practicing weaponized incompetence with you. Okay? Second question you want to ask yourself is, where might you be avoiding एफर्ट बाय क्लेमिंग हेल्पलेसनेस. कौन कौन सी ऐसी रिलेशनशिप्स में या जगहों पे आप ये बोल के कि यू कैन डू इट वेल, आई कांट डू इट, मेरे को तो ये चीज़ अच्छे से करनी नहीं आती, यू कैन डू इट बेटर देन मी, आई डोंट नो हाउ टू डू इट वेल, कैन यू प्लीज डू इट. Where in your life are you practicing that behavior? If the answer is yes, then you are also practicing weaponized incompetence with other people. And as I said, it's not worth the effort. It's going to cost you so much. You will be left with nothing but regret. And I don't want you to go to that point, okay? I don't want you to suffer in life. Kitni baar aisa hota hai, you feel like, I wish I knew this thing 5 years ahead of time. I am telling you 5 years ahead of time right now only. If you have been practicing that, stop it right away, okay? Third thing is, you gotta ask yourself, okay, what will happen, what will shift, what changes will happen in office or in life if both the parties, me and the other person, start sharing responsibilities equally. उससे किसको benefit होगा, क्या benefit होगा, ठीक है, और क्या pain points हम avoid कर पाएंगे. You need to ask that, because that will give you the reason to actually go ahead and have that conversation with other people, ठीक है. So now, if other people are if other people are practicing weaponized incompetence with you, how will you go ahead and solve it? So there is something known as the W.I.S.E.R framework. W-I-S-E-R, W.I.S.E.R, okay? WISE, say W.I.S.E.R. So there is a W.I.S.E.R framework that you can use to stop other people from practicing weaponized incompetence on you. Okay, one is W. W stands for watch. Okay, so first stage is W. W stands for watch. Watch for patterns. Okay, C. One time mistakes नहीं देखनी है लोगों की. Okay, I want you to stay aware of it. You just don't have to see one time mistakes or one time things. Identify patterns. Who is practicing it as a pattern over and over again around me or towards me? ठीक है, in my life, in my team at office, in my workplace, or in my company, where all other people are doing this. Patterns observe karo and dekho. Who is this person who is avoiding task mysteriously? Who is that person who is avoiding task mysteriously? Then who is this who are these people who are who are the first ones to raise their hands and say I can't do it just by putting it minimum effort? Like they don't go and they don't actually put in the amount of effort required. Zara sa kuch karke hi they just do like a little bit of effort, and they're the first ones to raise their hands and say, oh, I can't do it, I can't do it well. So who are those people? They are actually practicing weaponized incompetence. And then third one is see कौन से ऐसे लोग हैं जिनकी shared responsibilities में performance कम है. Identify shared responsibilities around you at office or in your personal life, and see who are the people whose performance is less, or who are putting in less effort in shared responsibilities. Those are the people who are practicing weaponized incompetence. Okay, so, and the other question that you need to ask is this person just incompetent? Like usko genuinely nahi pata hai kaise karna hai. Is this person incompetent, or is this person just uninvested? Like, is this person incompetent, usko aata nahi hai, or is this person lazy? They are just avoiding because they don't want to put in the effort. Okay, and then another thing you need to ask yourself is this person showing this helplessness selectively? बहुत सारे आपको ऐसे लोग दिखेंगे, हाँ, where they show this helplessness selectively to either you or to some other people. Like वो क्या करते हैं, they try to act all powerful in their life with everyone else or in other areas of life, and they selectively show weaponized incompetence, or they selectively show helplessness in one or just a few areas of life. Okay, so ask yourself, do these people show helplessness selectively, like only with few people or only in specific areas of your life? Then those are the people practicing weaponized incompetence. Then the next step, once you have identified who these people are and what the pattern is, once you have practiced W of the W.I.S.E.R framework, we move on to the I, which is the second stage. Okay, you identify the impact on you or others. Okay, identify, measure the impact of them practicing weaponized incompetence. How do you identify it? Okay, so you'll have to clearly note what does their behavior cost and who all. Okay, what is their behavior costing, who all is their behavior costing, and how much. अगर I am taking the brunt of them not performing or them not putting in the effort, so how much is that behavior costing me in life and what all? And if that person is someone who is doing it in family settings or is doing it in, say at job, then what is that person costing to other people at office or in family settings? So what is this behavior of this person costing to other people as well? That is the second thing you need to ask yourself. Okay, देन कितना टाइम वेस्ट होता है दूसरे लोगों का या आपका खुद का, कितनी एनर्जी वेस्ट होती है आपकी या खुद की इन लोगों के ऊपर, कितना ज्यादा डिले होता है इन लोगों की वजह से आपकी खुद की लाइफ में या किसी और की लाइफ में या फिर ऑफिस में. ठीक है, देन you also need to ask yourself, are you doing more than your fair share? आपको जितना actually genuinely authentically करना चाहिए, are you doing more than that? And then other thing that you need to ask yourself is this harming team progress or relationship trust? ठीक है, जो बाकी के relationships है उसके अंदर is this harming other people relationship with each other or my own relationship with some other person, or is this harming team progress at work or at business? If the answer to that is yes, see how much and what all can it cost. Because किसी और से जाके आप बात करने से पहले you first must know how much serious the issue is. So you need to identify the impact on you and on others of these people practicing weaponized incompetence. ठीक है? Then another thing you need to ask yourself is, in the past, what has this dynamic stolen from me and from others? ठीक है, टाइम, कितना टाइम लूज हुआ है, कितना पीस लूज हुआ है, कितना कॉन्फिडेंस, कितना अपॉर्चुनिटी लूज हुई है, क्या क्या बर्न आउट हुआ है. That all of that you need to actually know the impact. So know what has this this person practicing in weaponized incompetence, what has this person stolen by practicing that from me and from others, in terms of what time have they stolen, what peace, confidence, what all opportunities have you missed out on or have other people missed out on because of this person practicing weaponized incompetence. Okay, then we did the W and I. Now third step, we move on to speak the pattern. ठीक है, नॉट द पर्सन. लोगों को पर्सनली अटैक नहीं जाके करना है, उनको बताना है दैट ये पैटर्न हो रहा है, उसके बारे में बात करो. सो स्पीक अबाउट द पैटर्न, not about the person. Okay, you have to make sure that you're avoiding personal attacks. Instead, you have to actually go ahead and describe the pattern factually. Facts collect karo, identify karo pattern ko, which we did in the second step, and then avoid personal attack and describe the pattern. Say, I've noticed every time there is a tech issue, you ask me instead of trying or finding the solution for yourself. It slows me down, and it keeps me and it stops me from focusing on another part. Or another thing that you can call out the pattern is by saying, when I say I need help and the task gets done halfway or poorly, it feels like I should just do it myself. That's not sustainable. जब आप आधा अधूरा काम करते हो तो मुझे जाके उसको फिनिश करना पड़ता है, and that is not sustainable. Okay, so the goal, remember, is not to do the personal attack or not to make the other person defensive. Goal is to actually make them aware of the problem. क्योंकि दोनों चीजें हो सकता है उनका वो unconscious behavior है. ठीक है, so you don't want to make any personal attack, you don't want to judge the person, you want to judge the behavior. Okay, so speak out the pattern with that person and name the behavior. So we have done W.I.S.E. ka W-I-S. Okay, 3 stages are done. Next you move on to the fourth step, which is establish expectations or exit loop. अब जब आपने उस इंसान को पैटर्न वो कॉल आउट कर दिया है, उसको बता दिया है कि तुम क्या कर रहे हो, नेक्स्ट स्टेप दैट यू विल डू इज, हाउ डू यू एक्चुअली गो फॉरवर्ड एंड सॉल्व इट, दैट you will have to establish with that person. Okay, so how do you do that? You'll have to create boundaries, redefine roles, or gently challenge that helplessness behavior of that person. Okay, how will you do it? There are a couple of strategies. You could use first strategy, which is called redirect. Okay, so how do you redirect? You just tell the person, listen, I trust you to figure it out. Instead of doing it for the other person, you tell them, I trust you you will figure it out. Okay, let me know when you try. So you redirect them. Every single time in your relationships or at your work, people are saying, I can't do this. You go ahead and use the strategy of redirection. You say, listen, I trust you. I believe you can do it. Try and do it, okay? And let me know when you have actually done trying. So first thing is you call out and then redirect them towards doing it themselves. Second strategy you follow is called reassign. What you do is आप एकदम से रीअसाइन कर देते हो, एंड दिस डेफिनेटली हेल्प्स इन ग्रुप सेटिंग्स. आप बता सकते हो इफ दिस हैपेंस दिस इज योर फुल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ओनली, समवन एल्स विल नॉट डू इट फॉर यू. Okay, so you reassign roles and you say this task is yours for now, from now on. Okay, let me know if you get stuck, but I am not going to help you in every step, or other people are not going to help you in other step. This is going to be your responsibility from now on. You will handle it. We are there to support you, but you will handle it on your own. You are going to do it. Then third strategy that you can follow is reframe. Okay, so you just tell the other person it is okay not to be perfect. Let's agree that you will be giving your best effort. So tell the other person. If that person says, oh no, I will not be able to do it perfectly and I'm not confident if I'll be able to do it by myself, you actually reframe the way that you're talking to them and you tell them, listen, it's okay not to be perfect. I just want you to put your 100% effort. When you make mistakes, don't worry, I'll tell you how you can improve it as well. I am there to support you as well, but you have to understand, we all start somewhere. It's okay if you do it imperfectly. I will be telling you how to improve on it, but I want you to put in your best effort. Okay, so that's how you establish expectation or exit loop out of this manipulation tactic. Okay, और इफ यू आर द पर्सन हु डज इट. ओके, अगर आप ऐसे इंसान हो आप जो वेपनाइज्ड इनकॉम्पिटेंस फॉलो करते हो, दूसरे लोगों के साथ प्रैक्टिस करते हो, देन आई वांट यू टू स्टॉप. ओके, एंड एक्नॉलेज इन टू योर सेल्फ टूडे. आज ही अपने आप से ये बात कर लो, एक्नॉलेज टू योर सेल्फ एंड कमिट दैट आई रियलाइज आई हैव अवॉइडेड इट. आई आउट ऑफ फियर और मे बी आउट ऑफ not understanding the seriousness of this issue, I will take small steps daily and I'll become more responsible and accountable towards my own life from now on. I will not practice weaponized incompetence with other people. ठीक है. नाउ द वाइजर फ्रेमवर्क के 4 स्टेजेस हमने कर लिए. द लास्ट स्टेज इज रिकैलिब्रेट रेगुलरली. रिकैलिब्रेट का मतलब है यू गो अहेड एंड सी हाउ द different strategies that you have put into place, how it is helping you, if the other person's behavior is really changing or not, and if any behavior needs to be changed, you go ahead and then go through the WISE framework again and see what is working, what is not working, and what strategy do I need to follow. कितना ज़्यादा हमने progress की है to actually correct the behavior of that other person, and how much have other people actually benefited from it. ठीक है, बाकी लोग या आपको कितना benefit हुआ है या नहीं. It is very very important to make that readjustment, क्योंकि लोगों का behavior एकदम से change नहीं होता है. It can take up to 3 months for people to change their behavior, but in that process you need to actually keep an eye on it, whether other people are doing it with you or with other team members, if they're actually making progress in their behavior. Okay, so what you could do is you could have a weekly check-in with your team. Okay, if it is happening in team settings, or if it is happening in a group setting in your personal life or in your career, then you can have weekly check-in. Weekly, like I know office में आप ऑफिशियली कर सकते हो, बट घर पे भी वीकली ऐसे बैठ के कभी बात कर सकते हो, एंड यू गाइस कैन सी इज दिस वर्कलोड दैट वी आर डूइंग एज अ ग्रुप, एज अ टीम, बीइंग शेयर्ड फेयरली, एंड इज दिस सस्टेनेबल फॉर एवरीवन इन द ग्रुप, because you want to make sure nobody is left to share the overload of other people. Then another thing is you could do relationship audits. This is something that I have practiced in life, okay, and you can go ahead and do it if you are in relationships with other people, family ho gaya, sibling ho gaye, other personal relationships, or with your partner. You could do these relationship audits. So you just ask each other, is either of us carrying this invisible labor because the other person is not putting in the required effort. Okay, does either of us feel that I am unfairly doing a lot and it is causing me peace, it is costing me my own peace. So you could even do those relationship audits with yourself. Another thing is you could do a self inquiry as well. If you are the person who has practiced weaponized incompetence in your own life, so you have to ask yourself, am I acting powerless when I could try, fail, and grow. Okay, so you could do this check-in every single week with yourself. You could ask this question to yourself every single week: do I actually put in the required amount of effort? Do I actually go out of my comfort zone, or do I just put in a little bit of effort and I act all incompetent? Where am I doing that? Okay, so you could do that as well. Okay, so that is how you can call out people when they are practicing weaponized incompetence with you, and you can make sure that without changing your relationship with them, without making defensive, you can actually go ahead and call out that behavior and make sure that your group setting, team settings, all the different areas that you're in your life, they're all healthy and they're going in the right direction and they're growing. Okay, but make sure when you're calling it out, okay, go ahead and use the wiser framework to call it out when other people are doing it, but make sure कि आप दो तीन चीजें फॉलो करो. ओके, मेक श्योर टू फॉलो नॉन ब्लेमिंग लैंग्वेज, क्योंकि आप किसी को डिफेंसिव नहीं करना चाहते हो. सी, योर गोल इज नॉट टू हमेशा अपना गोल याद रखना चाहिए. People are people, okay, and they are not inherently good or bad. Some people are, but most of us are not. Okay, so your goal is not to judge someone, your goal is not to cancel someone out, your goal is actually to correct that behavior. Okay, so focus on that. Use non blaming language, वो बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. You could say, I know you care, but I want you to show it differently. You need to put in efforts. ठीक है, and you express. Some people may genuinely be incompetent. उस केस में आपको क्या करना है, यू नीड टू हेल्प देम ग्रो. लेकिन वो ग्रो तभी कर पाएंगे जब आप भी उनमें उनकी ग्रोथ में थोड़ा सा कॉन्फिडेंस दिखा रहे हो. ठीक है, सो गो एंड शो कॉन्फिडेंस इन देयर ग्रोथ. यू गो अहेड एंड से टू दीज पीपल, आई बिलीव यू कैन फिगर दिस आउट. I will support you, but I will not do it for you. Okay? So you will have to do it yourself, but don't worry, I'm here supporting you, cheering for you. And the last thing, ट्रांसपेरेंसी रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है. ठीक है, ट्रांसपेरेंसी रखो, बताओ उनको कि उनके इस बिहेवियर का क्या इम्पैक्ट आपके ऊपर पड़ रहा है. ठीक है, अगर बॉसेस वगैरह हैं, कुछ हैं, उनसे नहीं कर पा रहे हो, देन यू नीड टू एक्चुअली हैव दैट डिस्कशन विद सम थर्ड पार्टी इफ दिस पर्सन डजंट अंडरस्टैंड. बट यू नीड टू बी ट्रांसपेरेंट in showing the burden that you are taking on yourself. Okay, only then can you go ahead and improve. So that was the session for today. It was on weaponized incompetence. ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा ज़रूरी चीज़ है. अगर अपना टाइम एफर्ट बचाना चाहते हो और अपनी लाइफ में ग्रो करना चाहते हो, एंड यू वांट टू मेक श्योर कि आप जितना एफर्ट डाल रहे हो उसका आपको अपनी लाइफ में बेनिफिट मिल रहा है, एंड यू आर गोइंग अहेड एंड ग्रोइंग इन योर लाइफ. फॉर दैट यू नीड टू मेक श्योर दैट other people are not practicing weaponized incompetence on you, and you are also not practicing weaponized incompetence with other people. Okay, so to your growth, this was another session. I loved doing it. I'm not sure how long can I go ahead and do these lives because of the 1000 followers requirement, but no worries. If you like this, please make sure that you're going and subscribing to my YouTube channel, because if I lose access to live, these videos I'll be putting on my YouTube channel. So you don't want to miss out on this. Make sure that you're following and you're subscribing on the YouTube channel as well, because this just helped me to continue doing it. And if this gave you some realization, आपको अपनी लाइफ में समझ में आया कि अच्छा क्यों मेरी लाइफ में इतने प्रॉब्लम्स, मुझे इतना ज़्यादा वर्कलोड क्यों फील होता है, वो आपको समझ में आया, या फिर you identified patterns of other people and now you can go ahead and do it. So if you learned something from this session, if you realized something, if it gave you some clarity, I would love to hear it from you. So please mention in the comment, on you can always DM me as well. And yep, for more, keep following and subscribing for more. I'll be coming with amazing sessions like this, and I am here to help you grow in your career and life. Let's do that. Thank you so much. Bye bye.